Hi there, Josh here, welcome to Frames Per Second. So I forgot to record an intro, but basically I was catching up with my friend Henry and we were just walking around shooting street around Fitzroy and Collingwood and Abbotsford as well. Now I'm shooting Ultramax, which I think is a very underrated film, and especially with the prices of Portra at the moment, it is a film that I have been shooting a lot more. Now, if you definitely want to save money, Color Plus is a really good film and probably the cheapest Kodak color film and color film in general. But there's just like a tinge to it that I don't like as much as Kodak Gold and Ultramax, which are a bit more expensive than Color Plus, but also a lot cheaper than Portra. And especially Portra 800, which is the version of Portra that I prefer. And unfortunately I'm not rich and I don't get paid for this channel, so I can't really afford to be shooting that all the time. And I've always liked Ultramax, and I especially like the vibrancy and the color of it, the way certain colors like reds really pop. I was trying to get this photo of this man, but then this lady kind of startled me, so I kind of took the photo a bit earlier than I wanted. But then she asked me to photograph her dog's nipples, which was a weird request, but I decided to honor it. Apparently she is a breeder, and yeah, here are some dog nipples. And then I stepped out and got a photo of them both. But yeah, that was a very interesting interaction. And it's just like one of the many things when you go out and shoot the street, you never really know what you're gonna get and who you're gonna bump into. I took a photo of this guy sleeping. It just kind of reminded me when I was in Japan, there was like a lot of people sleeping, and I kind of like took a mini series of photos of just people sleeping in their cars, just because that's what people did. But yeah, here across the road is this taco place, and I just really liked the vibrancy of the red chairs, umbrellas, and that red car that's right there. And with Ultramax, red really stands out in a really nice way. But yeah, it was like a taco restaurant that is in the building that used to be a hotel, which was kind of interesting to me as well. But yeah, I'm really taking advantage of all the red in this area. And I think, yeah, if you're definitely shooting a lot of red, Ultramax is definitely one of the ways to go. Now, for the most part, I wasn't really metering. Like, I kind of metered in the bright sun and in the shadow, like once at the start of this photo walk, and then I pretty much just went off the top of my head and how many stops I thought I might need to go over and under. And while I've definitely done Sunny 16 before, it's a bit of a lazy way of doing that, but with more accurate results when you haven't practiced that in a while, and I really haven't practiced Sunny 16 in a while either. And then we also came across this young lady who had really cool makeup, which I like shooting fashiony kind of stuff in general, and she also had this nice corset, and I thought it was a heck of a vibe, so why not ask for her photo? And she was happy to, and I sent her the photo later, which is something you can do. I don't always do that with everybody I shoot portraits of. Sometimes you just got to get a sense of the vibe, sometimes they'll ask. And then sometimes it depends how busy they are, or if you're kind of just taking photos as you're on your way to somewhere. Sometimes you don't have enough time to really stop and chat. But you can generally vibe it out as to whether you think they'd like the photo or want the photo. Or sometimes they're just like happy to oblige and then just go on their way, which is fine as well. Now I think we're around Collingwood at the moment, and I came across this cat, and of course I had to take a photo of the cat. I'm definitely more of a cat person than a dog person, though I wouldn't really call myself an animal person in general. I mean, I like animals fine, but I'm not somebody that's like obsessed with animals. These are some old smokestacks, and they're part of a factory that has now been converted to apartments, and I just like something you see a lot in Melbourne and different suburbs, which I just find really interesting. And then we came across this Vespa store / repair place. This photo didn't really turn out how I wanted it to, but like when you're looking at it with human eyes, it was just a bit different. And then there was here as well. I was just trying to get Henry's reflection in that mirror, but I feel like I needed to be closer to it than I was. But yeah, sometimes that just happens. And here was like, yeah, just a group of stuffed gorillas and tigers that were just like chilling, so I thought I'd take a photo of that scene. And then we came across some more cats, but they were a bit too quick for me to actually get a proper photo. You can't really train cats, they just do what they do. While dogs are a bit more willing to stand still. Wait, there's like a trio of cats. It's like 3 wet cats. We came across this kind of wedding chapel place where, you know, people can just get married, kind of like in Las Vegas. And it kind of has that vibe as well. And yeah? Oh, amazing, thanks. Just going for a little photo walk. Yeah, come on in. And the person was happy to let us come in and just take some photos. And here you really get to see how Ultramax handles many different colors. And yeah, it turned out a bit more red than the video footage you're seeing, but the video footage is a bit less red and intense than it actually was on the day as well. And I really like how, yeah, these disco balls turned out with all the little reflections and stuff. I think that shot looks really nice. But yeah, look at that red, even that yellow and that blue looks really nice. And it's just like something that Ultramax is really good at, giving you saturated colors that aren't too neutralized. Like Portra can do that quite a bit, where you take a photo of something vibrant and colorful and then it comes out rather muted. This location was kind of a perfect location for Ultramax, and I think, yeah, Portra 800 would look nice too, because it's a good kind of middle ground between 400 and Ultramax as far as color saturation and contrast goes. Now here's this dog. Yeah, I'm not too sure why this shot turned out a bit bluer. Sometimes that just happens when you're in shadows, but sometimes it's also just a scan. But this shot I like a lot. I kind of wish I took more photos in this area, but we were just walking around. I mean, I think we all know that Ultramax is a really solid film, but I do feel like it is underrated because it is less discussed than Portra or some of the cheap alternatives like Color Plus. And that's because like the price is still alright, but it's not like you're getting a bargain. And so I feel like that's why it's not as heavily discussed, but I think it's a great film. And also save yourself some money while you're at it. Because if we're being honest, just the more you shoot, the better you get at it. So whatever film makes it so you can afford to shoot more, I think, is the film that you should be buying. And also as long as you're happy with the results as well. Now we came across this place which I think is now demolished, but because like this was I think back in January when I recorded this. And yeah, there was all this red graffiti that I knew would pop nicely. Some of these compositions I'm not as happy with, but I think it still shows off the good qualities of Ultramax, which even though it is 400, the grain of it is still decently fine. Not too many of these shots looked that grainy, and if they were, it probably was just because I wasn't metering for each shot exactly, and I was maybe underexposing stuff a little bit or overexposing stuff a little bit. I just think it's a really good film, especially if you love color and contrast, so it's definitely worth utilizing a bit more. I think I forgot to mention, but I was shooting my Pentax K1000 with 50mm 1.4. I hope you liked the video. Please let me know your thoughts on the film and the images in the comments below. Feel free to like and subscribe, turn those post notifications so you know when there's a new episode. But anyway, I'm Josh, this has been Frames Per Second. Just get out there and shoot some film.